It just cannot get any bigger than this, right? India versus Pakistan. It's time to pull out all those magical moments from the treasure trove and, of course, re-cherish those moments as well. How could you ever forget one of those classical moments where Amir Sohail showing his bat to Venkatesh Prasad only to witness his off stump going for a long walk on the very next delivery? And Sachin Tendulkar playing that uppercut at Wanderers. And you just cannot forget Virat Kohli goes down the ground, Virat goes out of the ground moment as well. Welcome to the ICC Champions Trophy special with the Free Press Journal Sports Desk. Joining me now, my fellow colleagues, Pankaj Athavale, the cricket commentator, coach, author, and a dear friend of mine, of course, Nishat Pai Vaidya, cricket expert and cricket commentator as well. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me.
थैंक यू
पूरा
प्रथम
स्माइल
निशात
करिए, हम दुबई में हैं। नहीं, ये सच नहीं है, हम मुंबई से बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हमारा जो हार्ट है, सोल है, वो दुबई में जाएगा, जरूर जाएगा। Nishad, Pankaj, what does it mean? I mean, India, starting the series with a victory. Pakistan hasn't been that lucky. What does a first victory mean to India? And what does a first defeat mean to Pakistan?
I think it was expected lines, India beating Bangladesh and Pratham. That day we kind of discussed, and yes, I did mention we'll win by 6 wickets, and it did happen that way. Unfortunately, I didn't punt on the fantasy game that day. Otherwise, I could have taken you all for a party. But and Pakistan also not really kind of starting off well. In fact, the whole problem we have with Pakistan is that that Glenn Phillips catch is so everywhere now. And the entire Pakistan team would be kind of still under that pressure. But as expected, and now the entire build-up for a Super Sunday, it's going to be fascinating.
Super Sunday indeed. Nishad, what your sentiments are like? What thoughts are running across your head?
See, firstly, I think we got a good look at the surface in Dubai, but I must also tell you that they will not be using the pitch that was used in the India-Bangladesh game. In fact, the pitch that is on the side, which wasn't also used during ILT20. So it's a fresh pitch, which is going to be used for the India-Pakistan game. We really don't know how it's going to play. But considering the square that it is, I guess it is going to be on the slower side. As we saw in the first game, run scoring may not be all that easy. Win the toss, bat first. But expected lines that India won, but they could have done a lot better, especially after they had Bangladesh at 35 for 5. They should have wrapped them up under 100, 120. But on the other side, you have to look at the way Pakistan are playing cricket, who are playing cricket way out of their character. Pakistan cricket is known for that delivery, for the brave cricket and the fearless cricket that they play. But over the last 2-3 years, especially in their greatest batsman currently, we are seeing that fear and that restricted attitude come through, which is what is really ailing Pakistan.
True. And toss does matter, right? In this, how favorable the venue is for India.
It looks good. So Dubai has been a decent hunting ground, though not on certain moments. Nishad and me were witness to that burst from Shahid Afridi when she got Rohit and everyone. So both of us were there live on air. So I think India, the point here is that they need to figure out, as Nishad said, they should have quickly finished off Bangladesh 100, 120, and that's enough. They kind of made themselves work hard. That might just happen against Pakistan also. But Pakistan, what happens is whenever off late for the last 3-4 years, whenever they're playing India, the entire Pakistani team is under some sort of pressure. They're like overwhelmed for whatever reason. So that probably kind of help India. But otherwise, fans from both sides will really have a gala time.
Nishad, how do you analyze that situation?
So I've got actually a very specific thing to say about that. So I remember that game in Dubai when they beat India in the T20 World Cup, but that just seemed one of those highs. But the problem was they stayed in that high throughout that tournament. I remember meeting some of my Pakistani colleagues. I was in Dubai later after that game, and they were just riding so high on that victory. But what we had to tell them is that, it's a continuous process. You have to turn up the next day and the next. So somewhere, Pakistan come with so much pressure. And I'll give you an example. 2019 World Cup, we were in Manchester for the game. Mickey Arthur was coach. Now, Mickey Arthur is by nationality South African, then converted to an Aussie, has also coached Pakistan, and he was saying things like, in the press conference a day before, we're going to take it like any other game. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you say that, that's fine. You take it like any other game. Then immediately, after a couple of minutes, he says, but I also tell the boys that here's your chance to be a hero. So on the one hand, you are taking the pressure off, and on the other hand, you're putting the pressure back on, and that's what's
Back
exactly
on,
happening with
right?
Pakistan.
Right. We have to decode that emotional quotient as well. As you said, Pakistan is, of course, known for that unpredictability element. India, on the other hand, looks a very, very solid side on the paper. But that additional pressure that you're talking about, because the diaspora that turns up backing their own respective teams, therefore that adds more pressure on the players. But do you think, given the way we have started and kicked off this edition of the Champions Trophy, there should be no problem as opposed to what Pakistan has suffered? I hope it does not turn into a cascading effect for them. Your take?
It really won't see, because what happens is Pakistan really need to come a few notches up when they are playing India. India need to play wherever they are at this current scenario. The only problem here, there are two issues here with India, with the way kind of India lost those wickets very quickly. Shreyas getting out, and I was watching the match. Shreyas played that Kachkachi Kadak square drive, and it was such a very. I was so impressed with that shot, and the next ball he's out because the bowler really foxed him. So that is one problem that India will need to figure out. Bowling wise, India is pretty much sorted out with Shami and everyone. But I think batting is somewhere we might just have some up and downs. Shouldn't have a problem dealing with the entire Pakistan team. But these wickets here and there, the Rohit Sharma's dropped catch, these kind of things will just set your heartbeat. Arey yaar, ye kya ho gaya? I think that will just create a bit of a kind of a hurrah in the entire thing. And one more thing, the Pakistani fans off late have also realized ki ye na ho pai ab. So they come there for the formality's sake. They know that, but they know the writing is on the wall.
Absolutely. I hope Kachkachit and Kadak are the adjectives that will sit comfortably when we see India bat. What are the adjectives you would use, Nishat, for the bowling side, or for that matter for the batting side, as far as Pakistan goes?
Pakistan at the moment, the batting side, particularly with the top order, unfortunately, the word that I will use, I mean, Pankaj can help me out with a better word in Hindi or Marathi, but I see a lot of uncertainty and a lot of diffidence in their batting. And that is not something you will expect from someone like a Babar Azam, who we all agree is a great player. Like, he's world class, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, it's a pleasure to watch him bat the day he's in form. But in a chase of 320, if you're going to score 64 in 92 balls, it's not going to help your team. And this is not because there is a lack of ability. It is the lack of application. We all know Babar is the same player who can also score 120 in 100 balls.
Absolutely.
वो होता है. So it is more out of, and I also look at it this way, and Pankaj will back me up on this. Back in the day when we used to watch the Pakistan team, we also used to look forward to seeing people like Saeed Anwar, may not be Saeed Anwar so much, but Inzamam, just that the kind of dominance they showed, that elegance, some combativeness from someone like a Moin Khan or a Rashid Latif. And then you've got the spin of Saklan, then you've got also Wasim and Waqar, all great talented cricketers, but it was the way they turned up on the field. And unfortunately, that turning up is missing. And that is what is, even as someone, as being an Indian cricket lover, you still are a little sad to see that, because you want to see that same spice or that masala and tadka, masala and tadka from the Pakistan team.
Kachkachit and Kadak are the adjectives from Pankaj, Masadildar and Tadka from Nishad. What a good start. Okay, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, New Zealand. Let's take a look at this group. What does any victory or defeat, for that matter, mean to the other team? लोग यहाँ पर बोलेंगे सानू की हमें तो इंडिया जीतना ही जीतना है, लेकिन इंडिया, बांग्लादेश, पाकिस्तान, न्यूजीलैंड इस ये ग्रुप में अगर कुछ इधर उधर होता है, जो भी होगा ही, तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है बाकी के दो टीम्स पर, क्या असर पड़ता है?
See, I think Bangladesh, Pratham, is more or less down now. Pakistan should beat them. They really don't have that kind of a firepower. But Pakistan also is in the danger, because if India win tomorrow, then there should not be a problem. And what happens in a multi-nation tournament is you need to win all your matches with good margins so that your net run rate is really very good. So in this case, I think India and New Zealand look quite comfortably placed going ahead. Pakistan will need to create something really, really. Now, if they lose tomorrow, then nothing's going to happen to them. So looks pretty straightforward as of now. But cricket is a very funny game. You never know what may happen.
सूरत हाल अगर देखें, the way the situation is unfolding right now, इस ग्रुप में से कौन सी टीमें हैं जो इंडिया को बैकअप करेंगी, चाहेंगी कि इंडिया विन करे?
Mainly New Zealand, because क्यों ऐसा होगा कि if India beat Pakistan, तो फिर clear cut हो जाता है, क्योंकि New Zealand you would expect to beat Bangladesh, then they are through, because then Pakistan is out. मगर अगर कल ऐसा हुआ that actually Pakistan beats India, then it's a three-way race. I know this is not being disrespectful to Bangladesh, but they just don't seem to have that firepower to turn up for such a big event. So it looks really difficult for them to beat Pakistan at Rawalpindi, or even to go and beat New Zealand at I don't know where exactly they are playing, but they're playing in Pakistan. So I think exactly New Zealand will be hoping that tomorrow India beats Pakistan, so that the road is clear for them as well. And the last India-New Zealand game is nothing but a sort of a preparation for the semi-final.
Would there be a sigh of relief for Pakistan? They're playing, of course, in Dubai, and considering the diaspora there, of course, people are going to turn up in large numbers. But playing in Dubai versus playing in Pakistan, would they be mercifully we're playing in Dubai, so there won't be that much pressure as opposed to playing against India at home ground?
In fact, Pratham, playing in Dubai is more dangerous because they got to fly back home. So they'll be more dangerous. Whereas in Pakistan, they can go to their respective homes quickly. But what will happen is that Pakistan will have to really adjust quickly, because we saw the tracks in Pakistan flat, full of runs. But as Nishad also mentioned, Dubai will not be a kind of an easy scoring kind of thing. So that's where someone like a Iftikhar Ahmed Chachu, who's not there in the side, is someone who can kind of milk those runs. That is where Pakistan will have to figure out their batting. Who will be the 2-3 guys who will kind of milk the runs in the middle overs, and that's going to be the challenge for them.
And also, I don't understand this about Pakistan cricket. So I was in Australia in December. And you do meet people who are of Pakistani descent there also. And interestingly, Pakistan had won an ODI series in Australia. And then they went and they did well in South Africa just after I returned from Australia. But having spoken to so many of these Pakistani supporters as well, even when things are going well, they are never too high, because they just feel that something is going to happen, which will again hit them hard. And one of the things that one of the fans told me there, he said, दुनिया की सबसे आसान चीज और मुश्किल चीज एक ही है, वो है पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट को स्टेबल करना. So he said that, and it really makes sense. But I don't understand this. You have won a series in Australia in those challenging conditions. You did well in South Africa. Yes, you don't have Sam Ayub in the team, which is a big loss, because Sam Ayub, I'm telling you, is going to be one of their greats in white ball cricket, no doubt. Test cricket, we will see how he adjusts, but in white ball cricket, he's going to be great. At the same time, you have not picked world-class. You don't have world-class spinners. Who's going to stop the runs in the middle overs? In the middle overs, in 50 overs, when you get wickets, that is when you stop the runs. You've picked Ibrar, who's a decent leg spinner, but has not done very well of late. At the same time, you've got a spinner called Sufyan Mukim, who did well on ODI debut, took 4 wickets, and you dropped him. Yeah. He's not even in the squad. He's playing for Pakistan. So as Shoaib Akhtar says, mere samajh ke bahir hai. Actually, mere samajh ke bahir hai.
allow me to say, I mean, this is very cheek, tongue firmly planted in my cheek. I mean, at one point, Pakistan was struggling with finding a proper coach. And the wise man said that finding a coach for Pakistani team is as good as finding a husband for Elizabeth Taylor. So at one point, that was the scenario. But what is troubling Pakistan now, Nishad?
See, at the moment, it's very difficult to say, because sometimes it's just those things that you create for yourself that really troubles the Pakistan team. And if we can just have a look at we've got the India squad on now. If we can just have the Pakistan squad.
Can we have the Pakistan squad quickly?
Yeah, then I'll just point out a couple of things.
Yes.
And this is very
There you go.
interesting.
That's a
Like,
Pakistan
yeah,
team for
here
you.
we have now we've got Imam Ulhaq in the team, which he should have been there earlier. There are some good players. There is no shortage of talent. You look at this team, absolutely no shortage of talent. I think it's the mental approach one and a couple of questionable selections. Like
Yeah.
you see someone like a Fahim Ashraf. Fahim Ashraf in the last 10-15 ODIs he's played with the bat he's averaging 9 and with the ball he's averaging 100. From an all-rounder, you would want the stats to be exactly the opposite.
Absolutely.
So there are some
Absolutely.
of these selections that don't make sense. One, and the mental approach. How are you going to actually go out there and really deliver on the day? And there seems to be that tentativeness that has come. And I have not seen this from a Pakistan team in a long time. That Pankaj can actually elaborate on this because we all are so familiar with the fearlessness of Pakistan cricket that we used to see back in the day.
Right. Yeah, also the
Pankaj,
bigger
what's your
problem.
expert take
Yeah.
on the same?
Yeah, Pratap, what is another important problem for Pakistan is that Fakhar Zaman is not now available because of injury, and that's a big blow because
Yes.
Fakhar Zaman would have been the only one who could have kind of taken on India. He has done that many a times. And the problem with Mohammad Rizwan is that Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan are players who cannot lead the side. They can play really very well and be dangerous under another captain. Because if Babar
Ooh.
Azam and Mohammad Rizwan are not captains, they play so fearlessly. See, Mohammad Rizwan came up why? Because of its uncanny knack of tak, he's hitting around and getting those quick runs and being that quick one between the wickets. What happens with Mohammad Rizwan is that now you have given him the captaincy. He's become very mature and he has to play responsibly. So he actually is not able to play. That's the bigger problem. You don't find a proper character who can captain Pakistan. And as Nishad mentioned, in fact, Saud Shakir is a good player, but Kamran Ghulam, you have Usman Khan, Fahim Ashraf, Kushdil Shah. I mean, these are bits and pieces players, So probably Pakistan has a lot of problem as far as their batting is concerned.
But of course, Pakistani side is also known for their unpredictability. So, is there anybody in this team you can count on as far as springing a surprise or two is concerned, Nishad?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do this, but I really hope they play Mohammad Hasnain tomorrow. There
Okay.
is something in him that I see, and it's just that he's not used enough. Use Mohammad Hasnain tomorrow. I don't know in whose place you'll get. Maybe in place of Haris Rauf, but at the same time, Haris Rauf was your player of the series in Australia. So Naseem Shah, you can't drop him. Shaheen Shah Afridi currently doesn't have the zing, but has got that reputation about him. Now there are a couple of good players though that we can watch out for, like a Salman Ali Agha. I think is a very good player. Usko or they should back him up. And I also, whatever little I've seen of Tayyab Tahir, he's also a proper batter. Now that is the thing that even I also listen to a lot of the Pakistani experts because you get a good insight into what they are thinking in their system. And someone like a Tayyab Tahir, Usman Khan, like if you've got these aggressive players. Usman Khan scored a list A double hundred last year in
Yeah,
domestic cricket.
correct.
तो अगर खिलाना है इनको खिलाओ, ऊपर बैटिंग करवाओ. Do something different. You may have to do something different. What it is, I don't know, but figure it out.
And of course, this association of victory with Shaheen Shah Afridi, is it all hype or do you think it is justified?
I don't think Shaheen Shah Afridi is in the best of forms off late.
Yeah.
A couple of years back, probably he had that sting. But every bowler goes through ups and downs, and Shaheen Shah is not that kind of the. So in fact, Rohit Sharma will say, "Okay, let me play him now." He's not so scared of Shaheen Shah Afridi also anymore. But Naseem Shah and Haris Rauf. But the problem here is with Pakistan, they have such a wonderful bowling lineup, but your batters need to get some runs so that they can defend here. That's the biggest
Absolutely.
issue. अब बैटिंग ही नहीं करेगा कोई तो फिर क्या करे? तो probably you will find Imam ul Haq and Babar Azam opening tomorrow with Rizwan coming at number 3 to strengthen the whole thing. But बाद में कौन है? So they don't have anyone in the middle order, and that's the biggest problem. So they may not. That's why they put up what just 260 on board against New Zealand. So I think batting is the biggest worry for Pakistan.
As far as
And
this
see,
squad goes, the Pakistani squad go. We talked about, of course, we started with the
just
weaknesses and
one
then
more thing.
progress into their
Just
what positives they have. Sorry, Nishad, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, just one more thing. About the middle order, Pankaj is right because they don't have the experience. Because there is a lack of experience genuinely. Someone like a Kushdil Shah was in the team 2 years ago, dropped him, he's come back. Although he scored 60 in the first game, But then again, I don't think the player also plays with a kind of security that am I going
Yeah.
to be in the team for a long time. So which is
Right.
why that middle order will look like. On the other hand, in that middle order, I only see Salman Ali Aga as someone who's got at least some semblance of security and some semblance of consistency, because he has been in the team for 2 3 years and he's performing now. But there
Gee.
is also a very systemic issue. It is the way they are handling their bowling. Like, for example, Naseem Shah got injured before 2023 World Cup, and they had mismanaged him before that. And that's why he got injured. Because they just went on playing him, didn't give him rest, didn't give him the time to recover, and he got injured. Then Shaheen Shah Afridi got injured in a T20 World Cup final. Imagine that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you're not. There are all these issues happening where, although you've got those players will get injured in any system. Today, Australia don't have Stark, Cummins, Hazelwood. In any system, your best players are going to get injured. The question is how you're going to handle them, and which is a job that they've not done well.
At this point, allow me to reverse the sentiment. हमने देखी है side and we were talking about the weaknesses in it, and then slowly we progressed towards what were the positives. Exactly reverse is for Team India. They look so solid on paper. Can we take a look at Team India, men in blue? So yeah, coming back to that, I mean, they look so solid and so promising on the paper. Are there any uh, weaknesses as far as this squad goes, the India squad goes? Chinks in the armor, as we say.
So probably in India's case, जबरदस्ती वाला wicket जो देने का है ना, just like how Virat was Fox, Shreyas Iyer just gave away his wicket, Akshar Patel threw his wicket. I mean, these are the only things happening. But fortunately, Shubman Gill, KL Rahul doing really very well. Rohit Sharma, I don't expect him to go on for a big 100. He just scored in the last series, which is okay. But 40, 50 from him quickly. But I would like Shreyas to kind of put in a bit more of metal, because he's a kind of ODI kind of a player. So KL Rahul and Shubman Gill are there, so shouldn't be that kind of a problem. But don't just go on and play to the gallery and give away your wicket. That will be the only issue as far as the Indian batting is concerned.
As we chat, the comments that are coming and flowing in are absolutely positive. Anaga says India will win. So does Vijay. Vijay says Jeetega bhai India. India hi jeetega. Global Scanner also keeps the same sentiment for Team India. All right, then. This is India's squad. My top favorites are, of course, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. We want him to be back in form. Then you have Kuldeep Yadav. We discussed Kuldeep Yadav in the first match, India versus Bangladesh. Also, Arshdeep. So, who are the key players as far as the combination of good bowling and good batting, therefore, is concerned? Nishad.
So I'm going to make a few changes, because I feel that this is the game that you should do that. And I'd also want to hear what Pankaj's views are. I want to see Arshdeep Singh playing because of the left arm angle, and in place of Harshit Rana. I know Harshit Rana got 3 wickets. Shami is in fantastic form, leader of the attack, no doubt about it. But I want to see the left armer Arshdeep also come in. And I don't know, I have a temptation to play Varun Chakravarti in place of Kuldeep. Just a temptation. Just unleash him and let's see what happens.
Just a gut feel? Just a gut feel? Or are there any statistics to back that gut feel up?
See, because Varun has been in great form of late, and T20s he's done well. Another factor is that Pakistan have still played Kuldeep in a few games. Varun, they have played only in 1 match, and because their players don't play IPL, they've not played him at all. This is my logic. Pankaj, what do you think?
पंकज, उससे पहले मैं ये पूछना जरूर चाहूंगा कि विराट कोहली पर कितना फोकस होना चाहिए या नहीं होना चाहिए. भाई उसको अपना नेचुरल गेम खेलने दो. The concern has to be, not the concern, the excitement has to be around India winning the game. See to it that, and not purely just Virat Kohli's form, whether he is in form, out of form, whether he's going to get in form with this game. What is your assessment? And then we'll get back to what Nishad just said.
I think let's not focus on Virat. Let him play, because he's in the final lap of his career. Let him play. But the problem with Virat is that he is burdened with his own image. उसका image ही इतना बड़ा हो गया है कि even at this stage when he is not in great form, and and it's okay. I mean, it's human after all. So he's basically sort of weighed down by his own thing. I think then what happens, sometimes as you get a bit senior, as you are in the last lap of your career, sometimes you have to play a supporter's role and not a hero's role. I mean, many greats have done that, but sometimes I don't see Virat doing that naturally, which is fair enough. Until and unless the Indian victory is not hassled, shouldn't be a problem. So, Rohit and Virat are at that point where you are the pillars and you are not the enforcer. So enforcers today will be the Shubman Gill and the KL Rahul and the others. So Virat, I think will get it done. But again, on slower wickets, he might struggle. We saw the other day how he was foxed very nicely with that lovely delivery. So it's going to be interesting. Let him play. Let him get those runs. But as Nishad mentioned, I know playing Varun Chakravarti is a very big temptation. Probably India, will they take a risk because they would like to win this match first and then, चलो हमारा qualification confirm हो गया है, and then probably against New Zealand they might try it. But yes, Arshdeep for Harshit Rana could be a good idea. But overall with Shami, Jadeja, Aksar, everyone being there, India seems to have a kind of a standard SOP, so to say. Yeah. So probably they may not deviate too much.
Yeah. Fair enough. Even I thought that, but it's just a temptation about.
Yeah. He used just the word temptation quite categorically there. We know that, Nishad. Of course, we're going to take a look at our pick of the tournament, especially for this game, from both the side, India as well as Pakistan. So you have Rohit Sharma, you have Mohammad Shami and Shubman Gill. You also have Mohammad Rizwan there, Babar and Shaheen Shah Afridi. For some strange reason, our graphic designer has put India as South Africa. we can just neglect that. That's okay.
Yes. Happens. It looks good. I think when Shami and what do you call Shami, Shubman Gill, fair enough. Probably maybe Kuldeep instead of Rohit or Shreyas Iyer instead of Rohit. Probably I would say, and instead of Shaheen Shah Afridi, I would go for Naseem Khan and Rizwan Babar pretty much there.
Yeah. Nishad, for you?
Okay, so I'm going to go for Naseem, obviously in place of Shaheen Shah Afridi. I'm with Pankaj on that. And I'll go for Salman Ali Agha in place of Babar.
And your reasons are?
So because the amount that I've seen Salman Ali Agha, and recently I think he got elevated to vice captaincy also, he is showing the confidence. And in the first game against New Zealand, he scored 41 or 42 in quick time. Looked the part, seems to be a good cricketer. In fact, you check out some of Ashwin's tweets about him also. Ashwin, that is our Ashwin, and he has tweeted highly and praised Salman Ali Agha. So I think we should keep an eye on him in the middle order especially.
How crucial is the toss going to be? India win toss, bat first?
That's tricky, because the way we saw what happened at Bangladesh-India match, that was a good decision. But then if India is able to take half the side out very quickly, the problem is, are they going to pin the opponent down, And if you allow Pakistan, it becomes kind of a nuisance value. You let them go up to 220, 260, 270, and then you kind of go through the whole thing. So India probably should go with the same thing, the ball first. But if you're getting wickets, just finish off here. Don't let it kind of, meander too much. But वो बहुत nuisance value हो जाता है.
एक मुझे भी टेम्पटेशन हुआ है, जैसे निशाद को हुआ था एक नाम मेंशन करने का, मुझे सवाल पूछने का टेम्पटेशन हो रहा है. इंडिया विन टुमारो और ये जो सारे अंग्रेजों के खिलाफ तो हम जीते भाई, होम सीरीज थी, लेकिन वो जो पाप किया था ना ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, वो धुल नहीं पाया है. तो इफ वी विन टुमारो, क्या वो धुल जाएगा?
नहीं, because that is test cricket. Test cricket is different. White ball cricket is different. It is so I don't think it is वो तभी आप करेक्ट कर पाओगे जब अगली टेस्ट सीरीज होगी और फिर आप फिर से एक नए टीम के साथ उतरोगे. You will make those changes that are needed and you start building a team again for the next WTC cycle. But ये मेरा मानना है, अभी वो नहीं, क्योंकि ये अलग है पूरा. क्योंकि व्हाइट बॉल क्रिकेट में एक्चुअली हमारा अच्छा चल रहा है.
पाकिस्तान को हराया मतलब पूरी दुनिया जीत ली, लेकिन ये ऑस्ट्रेलिया का जो मसला है वो अलग है.
नहीं, बट वो माइंडसेट अभी नहीं रहा है ना, बिकॉज इंडिया पाकिस्तान much as it's so much like having been on the ground all these years, much as it's such a big game for Pakistan, it is not so much a big game for even our players. Like for Indians, they take it as any other game. It's not just a thing to say, but because that's how, one, they keep sane, and two, they're able to perform. Otherwise, Pakistan, they come with so much pressure. So to tell everyone to break everyone's bubble, I'm sorry, but it's just another game.
Nishad, you were not with us for the first two games, and Pankaj was absolutely bang on with his margin. ये जो गणित पंकज कैसे करते हैं मुझे नहीं पता, शायद कोई है इनके इनसाइडर्स जो प्लान करते हैं फिगर. मुझे बताइए ये मार्जिन क्या रहेगा? इंडिया विन तो कितने मार्जिन से जीतेगा?
Interesting. Before that, I'll just quickly tell you one thing.
Yeah,
Pakistan
please.
ko harana is like, you go to Banaras and take a dip in the Ganges, and that is what it is. अगर आपको बॉर्डर गवास्कर ट्रॉफी का पाप धुलवाना है तो महाकुंभ में जाके डुबकी लगानी पड़ेगी, तब जाके होगा. That's the difference.
Very good analogy.
Yeah,
ये तो मतलब ऐसे ही हो जाएगा. But no, this is going to be interesting. India should win if they bat second by about 4 or 5 wickets, and if they bowl, probably they should win by about maybe 30-40 runs.
Nishad, what if that unpredictability factor kicks in very, very strongly for Pakistan tomorrow? Should that be a cause for concern for Team India, or वो if और buts की बात ही में करे तो अच्छा है, क्या है?
नहीं, वही बात है ना. Every team has got something in them that they just turn up. So you never know. It is just that because India and Pakistan games are so few and far in between, that even something as small, something extraordinary done gets magnified so much, as if it's absolutely something gargantuan. But it Indian team will be very clear. They will follow their own process. I know ये कहने की बात होती है in the press conference, but that is the best way to keep sane in a team environment. Follow your process, go out there, do what you have to do, and not to worry about what can or will happen. Of course, there is a lot of study done on what the opposition is, and that's what you've got to do. For Pakistan, it's become a bigger game. It's become a much bigger deal, especially after losing the first game.
Masaledar and tadka are the adjectives you used. One adjective I need before we depart for the entire game, for the emotion of it, for the drama of it, for the sheer excitement of it. Of course, Pankaj also used a couple of words there. Katsakdar and क्या होता Pankaj?
Kachkachit and kadak.
Katsakachit and kadak, two Ks there. So before we depart, one word for the sheer excitement, for the love of the game, India and Pakistan.
I will say Dhamal.
Did you say Dhamal?
Yeah.
Can I add total to that? Total Dhamal?
Yeah, I'd add it. Kar lo.
The filmy guy in me is also kicking about. Okay, for you, Pankaj.
Yeah, I'll concur with you, Pratham. I would say great grand masti.
Oh, we're looking forward to that. Good one. It just, in my introduction, I said it just cannot get better than this. That was reserved for India versus Pakistan. But the way in which your adjectives are rolling in, I must continue with the same tradition. Just can't get any better than this. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your reviews and for your previews and for your analysis. We all are looking forward to this game. It just cannot get bigger. The drama of it, the emotions of it, and the intensity of it. India versus Pakistan. Looking forward tomorrow. And we are, of course, going to chat about it. Thank you. Appreciate it, Nishad. Appreciate Pankaj. Thank you so much. Bye.